Hey guys, welcome back to Fishing Tackle Channel. This is a Ocean Princess trip that I took May last year, December 12th of 2024. Shout out to Jeff. Jeff has asked me a couple times when I was going to upload this video, so I finally edited the video. So here you go, Jeff. This is for you. So I'll just go through some of the gears that I use and let you guys watch the rest of the video. I did limit very quickly, I believe. I caught so many that I didn't keep count, and then Jeff was nice enough to come around and um, give a count. And then I guess there are plenty of people that didn't catch the limit, so he took the extra ones above beyond my limit and then give it out to the other people. But here's I started off using a drop shot. So a drop shot rig, and I used this artificial lure, I think, with some clams on it, and it worked pretty well in the beginning, so I stuck to it. The jigging wasn't working so well, but you'll see later in the video. This is a long video because this is like a 10-hour trip, 10 or 12-hour trip, I can't remember, but yeah, because Ocean Princess is a fast boat with a fast engine. They do go out faster and farther than any of the boats in Delaware or Maryland. So you have a longer fishing time. And then because it's in winter fishing, the captain doesn't have to move around so much. He knows where the fish are kind of grouped and somewhat hibernating, I guess, because it's cold winter time, and they're feeding or getting ready to feed. So that's where he took us. So I was getting keeper after keeper, and like as you can see, it's plastic bait that I used, along with squid or clam baits that they gave us. So even if a small fish took the clam, I still had that bait. So I continued to fish, and I have to reel it back up and put a new bait on there. So if you guys are a little bit frustrated about having to keep rigging and putting baits on there, try the method. I mean, you could get a like 6 pack of those jerk shad on Bass Pro or on Amazon for about 2.95 or 3.95, and then that could be used like pretty much whole day. Um, Sometimes it'll come off a little bit, but then you could just re-rig it, and it's pretty efficient using it. So that's what I was using. Sometimes it doesn't work, but there were a strong current on this day. That's like the key. When there's a strong current, it gives a lot of action, so you don't have to do much. The current and the drifting does the job on its own and give it natural action to these drop shot, jerk shad setting. So it apparently worked because I was getting keeper after keeper. And I was looking at the other folks, and they're getting little baby fish. So while they're, see if you could see right there, the guy next to me caught two, but then they were like small, super small fish. I'm getting a bite, and I still really need to. Now that I'm watching myself fish, I'm definitely noticing that I need to do a better job hooking. So when I'm hooking, I need to slowly and stop pumping too. I realize I pump a lot more than I thought. I'm like one of the I'm type of fishermen that are against pumping so much, unless you're fishing for top water fish. These bottom water fishing, I wouldn't recommend pumping, just hooking well. And I always tell my kids, when you're hooking, just slowly pull it all the way up, almost like a 90 degrees, where your pole is pointing straight up. But I've noticed that I'm not doing it. Here, I got stuck on the bottom, and I know I had a fish, so I was able to pull it out. What happens is, if you get snagged, don't pull it up. You need to straighten your rod down, and then once the once the rod is pointing straight down with the line, parallel to the line, you just need to lock up your drag and then just pull it out. And sometimes it'll come off, sometimes you lose your sinker, but this time I was lucky enough to get it out without losing any of my tackle. So there's Jeff. Shout out to Jeff again, one of the best mates. Like, I don't even have to measure it. I measure every time just to make sure. I don't want to embarrass myself, or get a big ticket like a 500 ticket if I accidentally put it away. But Jeff, he's been doing long enough, so um, to be safe, if you're not sure if it's too close, ask the mates and like Jeff here on Ocean Princess, and he'll let you know. This Daiwa reel, Saltiga reel, it's definitely worth the price. I got really lucky buying it for about 320 bucks, um, with tax, I think, because of the exchange rate, and it's a Japan made, so it was shipped from Japan through Amazon Japan. So I was able to order from Amazon, but then the seller was Amazon Japan, so I got a free international shipping with just paying the tax and stuff like that, and then based on the exchange rate. But it's one of my favorite reel, and like I'm kind of a superstitious fisherman, and I've always had success with this ever since I got it. So even though it's pretty heavy and maybe overcompensating on some of this fishing, but winter, but we do go on a deeper, like over 100 feet, so I do take those, but I'm gonna be using it for my summer fishing as well. So like I said, I always measure it, even though I know it's big enough, and that's a good practice to, follow, I think. Just fun. The glove I'm using, it's one of those working glove. I use it because I mean it's really warm. I think it's like I said, it's the middle of December, so it's somewhat of a freezing temperature out there. But that glove kept me warm. It's a what is it? Milwaukee glove. Worked really well. Plus, it's pretty thick and soft, so when I'm fishing all day, sometimes you get, I don't know if you guys ever get a blister. But look at that, it just spit out a white crab right there, white legger. So they're feeding on white legger. Surprisingly, they do feed a lot on crabs than you think they do. I see them spit out crabs, often spit out these crabs, as well as what's the other one? Oh, the sand eel. So sand eel, they call it sand eel, but then it looks like a very thin anchovy. So that's maybe probably why I've been pretty successful using these jerk shad, because jerk shad looks like exactly like these sand eels that these black sea bass feed on, and you can see, I think, in this video, Jeff take a look at it, and he also agrees. Looks just like it. And he does get me a bucket. Usually for winter, because Ocean Princess is kind of cool. The captain, I asked him why they take a limited number. I think they take like 27 or 25 max fishermen on the winter trip, like a 10 and 12-hour trip. And he says that because he wants to make sure everybody gets a seat inside the cabin, so he doesn't want to oversell, and he wants everyone to fish comfortably. So they're somewhat of the model, the organizational model, the way they do their business. Their whole business model is pretty well thought out. I think people like underestimate that, like these boat captains just go and fish and take people out, but then these are all thought out stuff. I kind of notice it. I may be wrong, but like I've been managing an organization in the military as well as civilian for over 15 years, and I could tell when certain businesses are managed very well, and definitely Ocean Princess is managed well. Like Jeff and the captain, they do, and the ownership, I guess, the family themselves, whoever that owns it, and whether it's captain or with anyone, they do a good job. They keep the bathroom clean, which is a key. They remind all the fishermen that they cannot smoke in the fishing area. They have to go upstairs to the second floor, which is huge, right? Because one of the reasons I don't take my kids to some of the boats is there are a lot of cigar smoking people. I don't mind, but you know, it's not appropriate. And for some reason, people like to smoke cigars and cigarette like a chain smoker in the front, and while the winds are blowing toward the back, like it's like they just have inconsiderate or have no clue to just go to the back or go upstairs to uh, smoke. But yeah, the captain here specifically always remind people they need to smoke upstairs. And also, if you bring like two or more rod, he does remind them not to use them, put it in the back so it doesn't get in people's way. And I think that's a very good practice that I think all boats should follow and model after. But here I started jigging. I transitioned to jigging, and it wasn't working so well. And you'll see later. Definitely, you need to keep switching up. That's what happened. I kept switching up my jig. And this one is a Shimano butterfly jig. You could get it from Fisherman's Wharf. They have a really good price. You could get these for like when it's on sale, 375, 395, or like I bought like a bulk of them for 350 when it was on sale. They have everything from like 4 ounces. I don't know if it's four. It's like 80 grams up to 200 grams, I think. So I bought like 100 grams, 150 grams, and 200 grams. Like $100 worth of it. I never have to buy again. But they're awesome rigs. I've caught one of the biggest fish before, but the jigs weren't working, so I went back to drop shot. Those are Berkeley jerk shad, and they work really well. And just 2 years ago, they used to sell those for like 350 at Walmart and Amazon, but now it's like $7, so it's not worth paying $7 for a pack. Again, I've when it was on sale for like $3, I think I bought like 20 packs, so I'll be using that for a while. But yeah, I don't think you need those Berkeley jerk shad. You could get one of those Yums or other cheaper version one for like yeah, I kind of cursed her, but I had a huge fish and it came all the way up, and right before it came up to the surface, it let go or I lost it. And so I'm thinking it can't be a fish. Maybe it was like a big, like sometimes do you guys get that huge heavy one? Maybe it's an octopus or a squid, and then they just let go. I think that's what it is. So on these winter fishing, I need to pack some of these octopus, no, like a squid jigs on the bottom to see if that's what I'm catching, because it was some really heavy ones and it was coming up without any issue. Then right when it was coming up to surface, it just you could feel it just let go. It's not being unhooked, and then yeah, that's one of the reasons I say oh shit, because I lost a big one. There's another jerk shad. Yep, there's a jerk shad. So it works really well. Like I said, the stuff coming out of their stomach looks just like those jerk shad. See? Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Those are all jerk shad coming out of his mouth. Coming out of his stomach. Pretty windy day, and the water current, it was really hard to hold bottom. So if you're bringing jig on these kind of days where the captain is drifting and the water current strong, I would say I normally like to use 80 grams and it'll hold bottom, but on this day, 80 gram was not gonna work. Here's a nice keeper right here, but I got tangled. My fault. I feel bad for that gentleman because I tangled. We had all that space and I got tangled twice with him. I think it was my fault. Again, because it was because of the current. The rod I'm using there, I think, is it's a Daiwa Blast rod, I think. Yeah, it's a two-piece rod, medium heavy. It's a good rod. That's another good rod that I was able to get for like 150 bucks because of the US US exchange rate was so strong and Japanese rate was really bad, but now it's like you can't get those blasts for that price. You're gonna have to pay over $220 now, which is crazy. Inflation or tariff, I don't know what it is. It's just terrible. Yeah, where's Jeff when I needed him with that tank? Well, I guess he knew I could take care of it because he didn't show up and it was pretty easy to get it untangled. And I've noticed a lot more and more people use electric reel, and I don't know, am I the only one that gets bothered by the sound? It's just like that. It's like, do you really need? I understand it if you're more like a retired senior with like arthritis or issues or stuff like that, but I don't know if you're younger person or you don't have any health issues, like what you kind of lose the whole purpose of fishing, right? You like letting the electric reel doing it. It's so loud. You're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear the loud sound, but I don't know. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I might be using the reel very soon. For deep sea fishing, like deep, like 200, 150 feet, 200, 300 feet, I get it. But like for 100 feet or under, do you really need electric reel? But I've noticed more and more people are using it. Maybe I'm the only one that gets bothered by it. But yeah, drop shot. Something I try to be consistent is if something works, don't switch up. Just keep going until it stops working. And this time around, I limit it pretty fast. I think because I stuck to what was working rather than just switching up. I've watched past videos and I noticed that every time something works, I just keep switching to something else, like as if, oh yeah, it's working so well, let me try this or let me try that. And then I wind up not catching anything and lose that like short time frame of catching as many fish as I can.
Just like it, huh?
There you go. Jeff is wondering what I was using.
Yeah.
And it's a jerk shot that I bought in Korea that looks exactly like sand eel, which is crazy, and no wonder it's been working very well. So yeah, I have some videos with drop shot rigs, so check out my videos. If you guys are interested, or you could just Google or on search on YouTube. There are plenty of drop shot rigs that you can make. And drop shot rigs, if you're a freshwater bass fisherman, it's pretty familiar to you guys. And I often use it especially when it's crowded, because it's less likely to get tangled because there's no line loose to get tangled with someone else. You got the main line and you got the hook on the main line, so the bite is a lot more sensitive as well when you get a little nibble. I gotta continue using that. I've noticed I got a lot of keeper from that jerk shot, and that's another one I bought in Korea for like $2. And I know I have a couple more. I think I have a whole full pack, and I didn't even know that I used that until I rewatched this video. So I need to dig that up and then put it in my box when I'm fishing with my drop shot rigs. Non-stop biting. Not. It's like Captain definitely took us to the right spot. There's another missed fish. I had a big fish there and I missed it when it was coming up. I think again, I don't think it was a fish because it was like a heavy like a mat, almost like a flounder kind of thing, but it wasn't pulling or fighting. It was just like a dead weight coming up. So I imagine it has to be some kind of a squid. Look at this. Looks small, but oh yeah, it is. It's not us. I think I caught several keeper just with that jerk shot. Kept using. You'll see my next video for Ocean Princess, and you'll see my Daiwa handle break off. It's crazy. Like, I don't know what happened. Maybe I need to be more finesse about it. I was putting too much pressure, but it's like that tells you. Look at that. What did it just spit out? Another white crab. Yeah, the quality workmanship is supposed to be better, but cheap or expensive. This handle just the nut for some reason just came off or it got loose or something. But my whole handle came off in the middle of the fishing. It's not during this fishing. It's my next video. You'll see. I think I'll release it tomorrow or something like that. So I went back to jigging. Metal jigging. This reel is what reel is it? That's a Daiwa. Yeah, that's the Daiwa Bazaar, I think. I can't remember what it's called. It's a competitive real version of the Shimano Osea Conquest. That's what it is. There you go. That.
Yeah,
And then the
I did
metal
put a crab,
jig is
but
the
I
Shimano
think I lost it
um, butterfly jig. Again, check out. I have video on it. Go to Fisherman's Source. They're sold out, but they for a couple of years they had it on sale for like 3.95, which is crazy. If you go to Bass Pro anywhere else at a tackle shop, they sell those for like 11 to $15 a piece. So check out Fisherman's Source. The jigging wasn't working, so I went back to drop shot with the jerk shot, and again, that was sort of the theme early in the morning, and you'll see later in the afternoon. It was all about jigging. I went and Uncle Mo's Tackle and UMT jigs. If you search online
going back to bait.
or on Amazon, you'll find it UMT. There's 80 gram, 120 gram, and 200 gram. On this day, 80 gram would not hold bottom and it kept tangling, so I went up to 120 gram. It worked fine. I wish I would have brought 200 gram. Again, if I had 200 gram, it would have held like a vertical jig.
Yeah.
Would have been able to do a vertical jig. I'll talk about that gentleman right there. He came out of nowhere. I don't know why. He saw me catching all these things, and I guess he thought my area was better. He came over. He didn't catch. He wasn't catching anything, so he wound up going back. But he was talking to me, and I was just trying to be nice about it. And then later on, I was close limiting, and I asked him if he had his limit, and not yet. He wasn't even close or something like that. So I offered him if he wanted I, if I catch extra, I would be more than happy to give it to him. So he was like, yeah, 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 sure thing, I'll take him. And then, um, as soon as I offered him a fish, I guess he was having a bad day or frustrated. He got a little bit annoyed, telling me just throw it on the ground. Can't you see me fishing or whatever? And I was like, little, I was a little bit surprised towards his attitude. But I mean, it's not his fault. That's one of the reasons I don't talk to other fishermen. You don't know what kind of character you're going to meet. Because my buddy and I met some crazy people too that wanted to fight over um, seats and spaces and stuff. It's like acting childish. So um, yeah, like I've learned lesson learned. Like you don't have to be nice or whatever. Like let Jeff and the captain do their job. If they don't limit or if they suck, let them go ask him if they want extra fish. But yeah, don't. I've learned my lesson not to put myself in that position where, like, here's your, yeah. Do you still? Where do you want the fish? And then he yells at me like, "Do it, just do it. Where? Can't you see me fishing?" Or blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, okay, sorry. But later on, he sees me catch this huge jumbo, right? And then now he's like, "Oh, you're gonna keep that? You're gonna give me that?" I was like, I would have given it to him, but I said, no, I'm gonna keep this one. And then I caught another jumbo, but I think I had a limit, so I just threw it back. I just released it, but you know, it is what it is. Nothing personal. Some people are just like that, so I don't take it personal. I've been in the military. I've met enough characters in this world. Anyways, back to fishing. Um, yeah, it's like in fall, people say the bites heat up and you get a lot of catch, but this outing with Ocean Princess was um just crazy. It's like an epic fishing. I'm surprised not everyone was like limiting. I mean, I don't consider myself as a better fisherman, and I feel like everybody should have been limiting, but they were all struggling for some reason. Maybe they're putting on, like I've seen people put like three or four, I mean like three, four rigs on their line. Like sometimes just going simple is easier. That's because I've done too much before too. Or they could simply ask, if you're struggling, just ask whoever that's like I do it all the time. I ask like, "Hey, what like size jig are you using? What kind of style of jig are you using?" And they will say, "Oh, I went down to 60 gram." And I'm like, "Oh man, that's what's biting." So I go down to 60 gram. They're using more like a thin streaker jig, and then that's what I switch over to, and it works. Um, like I know there are nice people that come and chat me up and ask me about the jig, and they've never seen it. And I actually offer them if they want one or if they want to use it. Like I try to be a um, friendly and helpful fisherman as much as I can, minus a couple of the weirdos that give you attitude or act like I'm a burden to them. Again, I don't blame them. It's my fault.
Hey, yeah.
If they wanted something, they'll I should expect them to ask me. I'm not going to go out of my ways to be nice and then get upset because they happen to be a weird character. Anyways, here's a little quick tangle. Nice keeper again on that jerk shad. Let's see. This one is a Shimano grappler reel. It's a small reel, but pretty strong. It's a good reel, good light reel. So if you're looking for a good light, smooth reel, I know some people struggle to use bait cast in a deep sea fishing. But this one, I mean, it's definitely worth the money because, well, it's not, first of all, it's not that expensive. I bought it for like 130 bucks or something like that. Um, and it's super smooth. I've caught big, like 20-pound bluefish with this one, believe it or not. So a good combination. I was using my Shimano Infinity Osea Infinity rod with that grappler, and yeah, it's really smooth and it's really easy to reel in. So I knew I was close to limiting, or I may have limited. I asked Jeff to do a count if he can. He said keep catching, don't worry about it. There's enough people that don't have, probably not going to get a limit, so it's just more you catch, I guess they could redistribute to people that couldn't catch to get their limit, or at least some fish home, take some fish home. But yeah, light tackle, like this kind of all day fishing where you're catching one fish after another and after another. These kind of like a light equipment is just something to have, something to think about, because my arm and my hands were getting tired. So I switched up to this, and boy, it seems like it just lifted. It reduced by, felt like yeah, it felt like I was fishing with feather because, I think because it's so light, the rod and the reel itself only weighs like maybe 12 ounce or 10 ounce total. But I don't know what happened. It slowed down again, and you'll see again. Once I changed my jig to Uncle Mo's UMT metal jig, the sand eel jig, then it's like non-stop catching. So you just got to find the right metal jig to use, because sometimes what you're using is not the right one. So I switched back to drop shot, or I may have changed. Did I change to metal jig on this one? I'm not sure, but it was working well. Yeah, I thought I had a big fish, but then it got caught on the side of the fish. That was one of the reasons, I think. Oh no, actually, that's a really good size. There's a UMT. This is where I got the biggest size. I thought I had a pool in her. Yeah. Once I switched up to that Uncle Mo's tackle jig, it's called sand deal, or is it tuna riser? I think they're pretty similar in color, and the only difference is the tuna riser is a little bit heavier. I think the sand deal only has 80 gram, but the tuna rising has 120 gram and 200 grams. This one is 120 gram. There you go. It's like non-stop. Like I wasn't even putting bait on there at this point. It's just a jig, no bait, and it was biting. It was working really well. And I was getting jumbo fish. It's like keeper after keeper with the sand deal. So I highly recommend it. I have videos on it and links, or you could just search on Amazon for UMT sand deal or something like that. Look at that. Nice. This one's a little bit small. Oh boy. Keeper after keeper. This spot. And then it was interesting. I think this was a day where the captain got a call saying that there were some Navy ship exercise or something, and that he had to move out of the area. So, but he tried to keep us fishing for quite a bit. So he did anchor. I see that anchor line. So he did anchor in this area. I think I was getting a cramp on my in my hand at this point. A small fish. Felt like a big fish. gosh. Let me swap this one. It's time for us to pick our lines up. Let's go ahead and put them on in. If you're back at a rod, some of us may appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed the video, that's it for me. Make sure you guys click that like button if you enjoyed it. I enjoy just talking about it. Hopefully, I do make these videos for my friends to watch. My buddy in Florida and some of my family members watch it too to see how my fishing's doing. Anyways, I got a lot of fish and I have my freezers full, so I can't wait to share that with my family and friends. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to my channel.